Local news about local people. This is Newslink Indiana.
Hello, I'm Chris Bavender. Thanks for joining us. A Michigan pilot escaped serious injury when his plane crashed at the Delaware County Airport Wednesday. Sheriff George Sheridan says the landing gear of the plane collapsed after hitting light fixtures along the runway as the pilot attempted to land. Sheridan says it's just another result of bad weather in the area.
Got a nice crosswind going. Of course, you can see that the weather right now is foggy. We have basically snow mixed with sleet.
Fortunately, the pilot wasn't injured. The plane, however, was totaled. When Anderson Mayor Kevin Smith took office a year ago, he vowed to turn the city's economy around. Tuesday, at his State of the City address, he touted more plans for economic improvement. Newslink Indiana's Jason Luzak has more.
Mayor Kevin Smith calls his economic plan innovative.
We don't want to wait for the telephone to ring in Anderson. So we needed to devise a plan to become proactive and develop a sales approach for Anderson.
Smith says the city will take a proactive approach to attracting new business to Anderson. A part of Smith's plan for economic improvement, hire consultant Greg Winkler, whose job it is to sell the city to corporate leaders.
I know that he's identified well over 100 businesses that would be a good fit for Anderson.
Winkler, who couldn't be reached for comment today, will receive a salary of about $100,000 a year, according to the mayor, to sell Anderson.
It's like what a small business tells me that they can't afford to market. And I said, well, can you afford not to?
Linda Dawson, Deputy Director of Economic Development for Anderson, says marketing is only one of the ways the city will try to improve the economic environment.
We just have so many good attributes in Anderson that are just very logical things for business to consider.
Dawson says there are risks involved with the economic development plan, but says they are calculated risks.
If it pays off, if we locate a couple major companies here, you will not hear any critics.
In Anderson, Jason Luzak, Newslink, Indiana.
An Anderson man is suing the magnesium recycling plant where a fire forced thousands of people from their homes last week. Alton Brown lives less than a mile from the Amacor plant. His lawsuit says the company and 2 employees were responsible for fire protection at the plant. If he wins the class action suit, Brown and others who live near the plant hope for monetary damages. Friday night's spectacular fire and the plume of toxic smoke produced by the burning magnesium could be seen for miles around. Fortunately, no one was injured in the fire, which officials decided to let burn itself out. The Nettle Creek Teachers Association has filed a complaint against the school board charging unfair labor practice. Newslink Indiana's Molly Fry explains.
It started when Hagerstown High School Principal Mark Childs reassigned 12th grade English teacher Sharon Lucero after parents expressed concern over her teaching ability. Superintendent Joe Bachmeyer supports the decision.
We did not feel that our kids were maybe leaving that area as well prepared as they should have been.
Lucero now teaches 7th grade English. Gene Emerson represents the Teachers Association. He says the only evaluation Lucero received after parents questioned her teaching ability was from another teacher, not the principal. That evaluation was positive.
I think a lot of it was just they did a very poor job of communicating with the students and communicating with the teacher.
The Teachers Association filed a complaint against the school board Friday. Superintendent Joe Bachmeyer says that in both instances, the school board acted in the best interest of the students and the school corporation. The complaint will be investigated by a hearing officer from the Indiana Education Relation Board. However, neither party is required to abide by the ruling of the officer. Until the school board responds, Lucero will continue to teach 7th grade English. In Hagerstown, Molly Fry, Newslink, Indiana.
When contacted, Lucero said she couldn't comment without first speaking with the Teachers Association's representative. She didn't return any additional calls. We've had all types of weather the past 2.5 weeks, from ice storms to spring-like days. Newslink Indiana's Derek Tucker shows us how this weather has affected the American Red Cross.
After the recent weather that crippled most of East Central Indiana, the American Red Cross has been busy.
The largest response for the Hoosier Heartland chapter of the American Red Cross in our history, our over 85-year history.
Brian Fern says this disaster cost the Red Cross more than $185,000 of its nearly $650,000 annual budget. Walmart donated $20,000 to help victims and $2,500 in food to help feed people in need. Fern says the Second Harvest Food Bank donated food as well. The Hoosier Heartland chapter of the Red Cross has never finished a year in debt, but Fern says he's not worried about breaking that trend. He's asking other companies and retailers for donations. Fern says some volunteers worked up to 48 hours during the crisis.
The joy that I feel from being able to help or being just a tiny little part of somebody else's life, making it easier for them during a terrible time in that life, was very joyful for me. I enjoyed it.
The past 2 weeks, this vehicle has seen a lot of action, so much that its $8,000 generator failed. And if another disaster happens to strike, Fern says the Red Cross will be prepared. In Muncie, Derek Tucker, Newslink, Indiana.
Now, there has been one benefit from the storm. Fern says around 150 people have signed up for volunteer training to help when future disasters strike. Well, Marcus Bailey joins us now with a look at our forecast. Snow flurries today, but we haven't seen the worst of it.
The worst of it will be here this weekend, unfortunately. A very bizarre winter that we've had so far. Going to see some snow showers, a mix of ice, snow, sleet. We've seen it already. We're going to see it again this weekend. Let's take a look at how we topped off today, though. We started the day off with 20 degrees outside. Well, let's look outside, actually. We saw a very nice, cool day, but it's very calm outside. That's going to continue up until this weekend, where we'll have a system moving in with snow showers and, like I said, sleet and ice. Let's take a look at where we topped off today. We started off at 34 degrees, or started off at 20 degrees rather this morning, and topped off at 34 degrees today, this being Wednesday. And as you see, that's right around the average for this time. And the time is for sunset and sunrise. The days are getting much longer as we progress more towards the springtime. We'll take a look at the overnight lows for Wednesday evening. We'll be down at 22 degrees in Indianapolis, 20 here in Muncie, 19 up in Fort Wayne, 22 down in Cincinnati, and 28 in Evansville. Highs for Thursday afternoon, we'll see about 30 around here in Muncie, 27 in the Circle City. It'll be about 26 up in Chicagoland and 26 in Lafayette. Well, the system that's going to be rolling through here that will bring some snow flurries over Wednesday night is passing by, only less than an inch of accumulation possible. But the big storm that we're going to see is associated with this stationary front, which will bring some ice, freezing rain, sleet, and snow over Friday night and Saturday afternoon. So for tonight, we'll see some snow showers lingering, less than an inch of accumulation possible. We'll drop down to 20 degrees. For tomorrow, we'll see a high of 30. Those snow flurries continuing up until around the noon hour on Thursday. And then for the rest of your week, you'll see though on Friday and Saturday, there's where that wintry mix is. That will continue about midnight on Friday into Saturday morning. And then on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, we'll finally see the sun reappear back here in East Central Indiana, but this weekend looks like it might be a little interesting and
a little more of what we saw a few weeks ago.
Hopefully not that bad, but right now may look like that.
All right, thanks, Marcus.
Thanks, Chris.
Well, Blackford County received $10,000 recently from the Help Indiana Vote Act. The money is in addition to $86,000 received in November. The money helps pay for voting-related materials. So far, Blackford County has bought 14 new voting machines for the handicapped and new software. County Clerk Dorinda Shady wasn't sure they'd really get any money.
We were so happy when that check came in. It was like, what's this check for? I even forgot because it'd been a while.
All the counties are scheduled to get the money by the 2006 election. And that is Newslink Indiana. For Marcus Bailey, I'm Chris Bavender. Join us again tomorrow at newslinkindiana.com for more news.